All right, party people in the place to be, vandals, and everybody else out there lurking in the darkness. This is a brand new episode of Hot Flash, and this is an episode where we take a nice, quick little look at the books that we think are just the hot poop right now. And Joe, man, what book is the hot poop at the moment, man?
Well, at the moment, our friend Adrian has been working on the Sitter, which he finished up. It's completed now, and he's getting ready to launch his Kickstarter. So he sent us advance copy of the Sitter, which will be his next release.
Right, right. And I have the link for the pre-launch page for his Kickstarter in the chat, and I also have it in the description. Yeah, go ahead and click that if you guys are interested in checking this book out. And as soon as the campaign goes live, you'll be notified and you can bid on it. So check that out.
Yeah.
So how you guys doing, man, on this nice Tuesday? You ready to get down on the get down?
Nice Tuesday. Interesting way to describe a Tuesday.
Oh,
It's better,
it's
better,
better
than
than the Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Got a case of the Mondays.
I just feel like you wake up on a Tuesday and it's like, oh, it's still the beginning of the week.
I mean, most days I wake up and I feel pretty much like the character in this book, man. I feel like Finn. You know what I mean?
Oh no. That requires like further breakdown.
Yeah,
off the line.
Yeah, this book kind of speaks to me in a bunch of ways, man. I think our boy Adrian is really, really on the next level. I mean, like he started off, just genre bending and breaking molds with Trakovi, but with this book, oh my God, dude, is he like he's gone from being like John Waters to like he's like Alex Garland now. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know how to describe this jump in just insanity, but like insane fun and quality in his work. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying like just even like his character designs in this are just so much richer. I mean, look at Lainey. How did you guys just like feel about reading this, man? Like what was your initial just reaction and feeling from the book?
Go ahead, Elle. I'll let you go first.
Oh, put me on the spot. What book were we supposed to read? It's been a while. No, it was really fun. I really enjoyed this. I really liked Trakovi as well. And but this did seem I don't want to say lighter. It's like lighter in a different way. You know what I mean? But it was I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I don't want to give away anything, so I'm trying to be like super careful. But it definitely was not what I thought it was going to be. I saw some chats that you guys had where a lot of you were saying that, but I tried to scroll past them really quick. And so when I finally like realized what was going on, even before, what was actually going on, I was like, "Oh, the title is hilarious. This book is hilarious. The dialogue is really good. The colors are vibrant. A lot of some of the techniques that were used in the Trakovi panels carried over, so that was cool too. But yeah, I really liked it. Do recommend. Will buy.
By later, I kind of feel what you mean. Like a Trakovi, like it there's like a huge sense of uncomfortableness you have, and you're kind of giggling like because like you're kind of shocked by what you're reading. Whereas like the Sitter, it's actually like you laughing out loud funny. I mean, like he's really stepped up his humor in a way. Like like especially the scenes with his mom and then the one with Atsuko. I mean, like he's really I don't know if he's punched up his dialogue or I don't know how to quite put it, but like man, he delivers the laughs a lot more frequently in this book, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's less crass, the humor, and a little more on the sillier side. Like it's the first very mild spoilers. It's the first time Adrian's attempted a love scene or a sex scene in a book. So just the way he approaches that speaks leaps and bounds on Adrian and his humor and the way he he approaches storytelling and stuff. It's definitely on brand for Adrian. I wouldn't expect anything less. It's super hilarious. Yeah.
Curious to see the reference shots. If that's in the deluxe edition or Kickstarter.
Maybe his wife probably didn't sign off on it. Yeah. So yeah. So my impressions. like Al, I love Trakovi. That's how I got to know Adrian, was through Trakovi on Kickstarter. Love that book. I think issue 5 just dropped, so that's wrapping up as we speak, and you could probably still go pick copies up of that either at your comic shop or go to the Scout site, and you could probably order it there. Yeah, so I was a fan of Trakovi, and this is just pretty much the evolution of Adrian's work, right? Yeah, like you see his storytelling's evolved, his artwork has evolved. I was always a fan of his lettering and coloring from Trakovi. That was always I found a strong suit that I found it lent well to his style of storytelling, and it's no different here. The lettering and colors are fantastic. And the one major thing I've noticed improvement on Adrian is he's starting to play with his lines, like the thickness of line, and so it adds a little more depth and character to his actual characters when he draws them and stuff. So yeah, where Trakovi was pretty much all his line work was all pretty much the same weight. So now he's really playing a little more with the weight of his line and stuff, and I think it brings out like the characters a lot more and adds a little more energy to the panels and the sequences from the book. So kudos to Adrian on that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So
Especially
I
like in
mean,
the chaos. It's like the lettering and the placement of the panels and stuff really well done. But and yeah, I would say again evolution of that because it was fantastic in
Trakovi.
Trakovi, but maybe in this I think it feels more fun because it does feel like it's more relaxed. Like he was more relaxed making this, having read it. It feels like there's a comfort in like the zone he was in here.
And possibly confidence as well after doing
Yeah.
a 5-issue run on Trakovi. You know, that probably a little more comfortable, a little, like you say, a bit more confidence in himself and his work. So yeah, definitely, I think I agree with you there. It definitely shines through in the book. And originally, this was only supposed to be a one shot, and it evolved. The story evolved as he was working on it. Now it's going to be a 3-part. So this will be book one of a 3-part series. Yeah.
so he's actually got a outline for it now. Okay, because last time I talked to him, he was just saying like, okay, it's going to be kind of a one thing, but like he could come back to it. So he is going to do it more because it is left. It's you're going to be begging for more at the end of this book. He set it up in such a way. He is a master at what he does, in my opinion, because of the hook in this book. Like you will want more when you read it. I mean,
What's up, Phil?
I don't want to give it away at all because like the twist in this book, it's like Barbarian. You know what I mean? It is going to be what you know keeps it memorable for the people that read it. You know what I mean? It's going to keep it rent free in your brain for a good long while because like it's got a great one, man. It twists so great, and man, I can't wait till more people get a hold of it and you know you see the praise from this book.
And it didn't feel like corny or like forced or because sometimes when books change directions in a way, it feels like it's okay, you got me. But this one was like it maintained the chaoticness in the turn of events. You know what I mean? And I like that because it's unhinged either way you go. Like no matter how you go, what direction you take the story, it's unhinged.
Yeah, because you know the book is just going to get more disturbing from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, it copped out, now it's going to go in a light direction. I think that it's going to actually get like more surreal and more violent.
Yeah. Maybe not more disturbing, but definitely more surreal, and like the weird factor will probably be cranked up in the next
which
issues.
I appreciate. I thought it was the weird factor made it very charming. Like these are characters that maybe in real life, ew, like go away, like you know what I mean. But like they're the awkwardness and the just like their general disdain for other people in general was it was just very endearing. They came off as very relatable characters.
We are talking about the Sitter Filzy by Adriean Koleric, our good friend of the show. His first issue is about to drop on Kickstarter in 2 days. Like, if you were serious about like wondering what we were talking about.
The actual Kickstarter launches May 7th, but the pre-launch, the sign-up page, the pre-launch page is up now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. May 7th is when the Kickstarter actually kicks into gear, and you could actually back this on May 7th. But to make sure you don't miss it, Johnny put the link in the chat, so you can go click that link to get notified once it launches on Kickstarter. Yeah. One thing also is there's a common theme that comes back up in this one. Let's say Trakovi is dealing with family, I won't say trauma, but there's definitely that the underlying motivating factor here is our main character Finn is dealing with unresolved family issues, right? And that's what kind of motivates him and drives him to in this story. And you get a little bit of that in Trakovi as well, because it's centered around a family tragedy. Well, this one's probably not a tragedy so much as Trakovi, but it's definitely
it's definitely a tragedy, just not the way it's sold at the beginning of the book.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to give too much away. I'd let people read it and find out. But yeah, so Adrien definitely his stories so far have been very like family rooted, right? Like family trauma, family dysfunction. So yeah, so you're still getting that goodness from there. And
dude, the scene with his mom, like, oh, dude, Finsk. You got to marry the good girl. Yeah, you got to bring home a good girl that'll cook for you.
When he couldn't defend himself for his language, I said, you know what? That'll do him. But I really also enjoyed the foot being adorned by a checkered van, because there's nobody worse when I was in high school than somebody who wore checkered vans. It was like a personality defect. It was their whole personality, actually. And so I thought it was really funny, because I was like, yeah, I would probably think it was a douchebag. If that was what you're going to come here with.
Well, he does actually use the term douchebag in it. And that's something I like to come is Adrien hasn't lost. It's not as crass as Trakovi, but he still hasn't lost his verbiage, his way of putting together, all of a sudden, like he's talking about the sitter, the giant foot and stuff, and it draws crowds. And Finn is narrating at the beginning. He's like, and all of a sudden, it was a hippy dippy prick convention. That's one of his things. Even gave him a stupid fucking name, the sitter. Then he's like talking, taking selfies, like fucking d-bags in front of him. Pretty sure people were fucking next to him, these are all just like little lines that where he's describing the whole event. And one good one
very much is like stream of conscience too, so that's why I found it relatable.
Yeah. And then the one scene where the guy in the beginning, right? Like this is all in the first 3 or 4 pages, right? Christ, just look at this fucking dummy. The guy's like, I'm gonna touch it, bro. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And here we go. Yeah. Whoosh. I mean, it's good. I love Adrian's sensibilities. Definitely align with mine. So I enjoy his writing and his books. So I really love this. It definitely hit the spot for me. And
and he tackled a subject that's very near and dear to my heart. He tackled the Hellboy snobs, man. Like, my favorite comic book movie of all time is Hellboy 2: The Golden Army. I'm not gonna lie, I love the GDT films, but like, besides that, dude, I absolutely love the David Arbor, Neil Marshall Hellboy movie from 2019. I think that it's a wonderful movie. I think it holds up as a great Hellboy film. And like, I love that Adrien stood up for that movie in this book. I mean,
I didn't know there was controversy until I read this, and I said, "Oh, I thought it was a fun movie." I didn't realize that people were arguing about it.
Not really. You'll run into people, like, usually, like, very few people, like, I guess me and Adrien and maybe Goose will like actually stand up and say that we like the movie, I guess, but like most people just shit on it. I guess there is a controversy.
Batman vs Superman, the greatest movie ever made. I get it.
Hey,
defending that every day gets rough.
It's not as good as the Batman.
Not as good as the Batman. Go ahead and hum the song.
Holy
you
fuck.
know it.
Holy fuck.
The Nirvana
But
song.
Yeah.
We're
But
gonna
here fucking
fly
people
Something in the
fucking
way.
get the fucking the
Uh,
Batman.
um,
I like the movie, but like, yeah, I could make fun of that music all day too. So
Oh, one thing he did do in this that I loved was it kind of felt like a manga inspired ish with some of the characters when they're
At the comic shop?
yes, and then even before that, sometimes the characters when their mood shifts, then they look totally different, and I really
Okay,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It reminded
The
me of like a lot of
the really exaggerated facial expressions and
Mhm. And
mhm,
also,
yeah.
what was that character's name at the comic shop?
Atsuko.
Okay, I would read 500 books just about them.
Yeah, Atsuko needs their own spin-off.
Hey, Adrian's building a world, man. And there's for people who love Easter eggs, there's tons of little Easter eggs. Like Johnny said, he drops that comment about the Hellboy. If you're familiar with his work, he drops little Easter eggs about work, like other work he's done. So if you've read any of his other work, he'll drop little hints and jokes that kind of give a little wink to some of the other stuff he's worked on.
Do that wink again, Joe, because it looked a little. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get there. So he's stroking out.
Yeah.
He's over here glitching.
It's my connection. Yeah. So Adrian's actually doing this one through. He's not going through a publisher this time. He's going to fund it on Kickstarter, and he's going to be teaming up with lesser known, who are
Mark Bernal
kind
and
of-
his bunch. Yeah.
yeah. It's not so. I guess you could call them a publisher, but they very much focus on crowdfunding, and they've kind of developed a system to help creators back their books and make
Yeah.
it easier and make the funding a less stressful ordeal for them. So Adrian's going to be teaming up with them.
Yeah,
for
they're
this
like a
thing.
name and an imprint, but they're kind of more like a distribution center than
Mhm.
like actual label, because like Mark doesn't try to like hold any kind of ownership or any kind of contracts with them. Like if like Adrian puts out the sitter and like say like Oni Press, which I could see totally snapping this up and putting it out. If that does happen, Mark will let Adrian completely just with no questions asked, which like that's why Mark is such a gangster, you know, in the scene, man.
Mhm.
Like I really like what he's doing with Lesser Known. So it's really cool Adrian's is doing this through them.
You could even say that they're lesser known.
Another little thing that Adrian's doing with this book is he's bringing back figures again for this this
Oh,
book, but
yeah.
it'll be a con exclusive for this fall at the Edmonton Expo. He's going to he'll be at Calgary, but Calgary he's making a special figure for that, a con exclusive for Trakovi in the black suit. He'll have that at the Calgary Expo.
Is this
But
East
if you,
Coast?
what's that?
Is Edmonton and Calgary East Coast?
No, they're kind of in the middle of the
West.
country. They're like
Oh.
right above Montana, pretty much.
Ugh.
Just a little west of the center, yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Montana.
Yeah, they're Mountain Standard Time.
not the drawl.
Mountain. They're
Yeah.
from the mountain.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want some more figures of Adrian's, and you live around the Alberta area, Calgary or Edmonton, Calgary, you could get the Trakovi toys figures. And if you want a sitter, if you back it and you love it and you want a sitter figure, and you're going to the Edmonton Expo, you could stop by Adrian's booth and pick one of those up there.
Have they said what the models? Has he said what the models are?
He's posted what it looks like. It pretty much looks exactly like the comic character. I think the
Well,
sitter-
the mock
I was
up.
thinking like a Finn one, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
it'd be really cool
No,
to
he's
have
going to
a
be doing the sitter.
ultra
Yeah, the actual sitter.
exclusive full frontal Finn.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
be hilarious.
yeah, get a Finn and Laney a bust, like all anime style, all super detailed, like huge and stuff, where like you can change out their hands and stuff. Hell yeah.
You know, like
Change out
those
their
toys?
faces. Yeah.
You know, like those toys that had the triggers and they move.
Yeah.
You can make them like, and then just.
Oh, I thought you meant the ones with the rotating faces, so they could be.
Or the eyes.
Yeah, make
The
her
googly
eyes.
eyes just spin.
That would be great. Just
Yeah, the
floating that
toy
out there, I would
that
buy.
the toy that's out there that mocked up was actually a gift that his daughter mocked up for him, and I think he's using that as the example that he's going to send into the toy place that's going to work on
Okay.
it. So they'll sculpt from that. That's actually something his daughter put together for him.
It looks legit, man. It looks great.
Yeah.
I think that actually looks better than the Trakovi figure did.
Yeah, the design of the sitter is really cool. I really, we don't really know much about the sitter, but I don't care. It's cool. He's cool.
Great design, and
Yeah.
I mean, I did not know that like the sitter was like literally the guy sitting down that Adrian was advertising his book for. Like all I really knew, like Adrian taunted us with a book with, is there were going to be ugly people having sex in it.
Yeah, that's
so I
what
kind of just,
that's the
I kind
only
of just
thing
thought this book was about a
Well,
babysitter. At some point, there's going to be a babysitter in the story. There's not one. Like not even in the
Yeah.
back. at any point,
Well,
so.
at first I was like, oh, the sitter, okay. You know, I didn't know what it was, but then all the pictures that he had was of that like sitting down, right? Then so I was like, oh, okay, so it's not a sitter as in a babysitter. So I was like,
And
okay,
see that
okay.
that's something I didn't know until I read it, and so
Yeah.
once I realized, I was crying laughing. I said, "This is the dumbest shit, but the best, the best." Like you're dumb to me, right? Because I felt
Mhm.
dumb, and I said, "Obviously."
Yeah, the cover has the
But that was really great because I full on thought it was gonna be like a, I don't know, like an Adventures in Babysitting or like a Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, like adventure story or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to be completely wrong was refreshing and
Yeah.
humbling.
And what made it so fun, one of the things that made it so fun for me to read is Adrian often DMs us, like asking us, like, oh, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? But with no context, really, just like very minor context. So you get all these like little tidbits, and you're like, how does this all fit together? Because he asks like opinions and he shows stuff, and you don't know how the whole story fits together. So it's like a bunch of weird stuff, and it was really fun to read it to see how it all fit together.
Yeah, that was really cool to see some of the dialogue and stuff like that. I said, these guys.
Oh, Spanky's in the house. How's it going, Spanky? Yeah. So yeah, man.
One last thing I really got to sing about, man, is his character designs. How much more fun they're getting. Like I think that if he's not, he should get involved in animation and kind of like at least work on a character designing basis, because like I would rather look at his character designs than 100% of the shit that I usually see like on Netflix or Hulu. You know what I mean? Like the Justin Roiland ripoff stuff. Like I think that somebody with Adrian's imagination and like his character designs needs to step in and kind of liven like some shapes up, man, because like I look at it, I'm like, man, it's got a similar DNA to it, but like it's so much more vibrant and entertaining to look at, in my opinion. And like I honestly think that his art really is a breath of fresh air in both comic books and like in a kind of a more animated looking sense. You know what I mean? Like I think that he is an artist that is just gonna pop off from here on out, man. Because this book, all the people need to do is actually get a hold of this and read it, and you'll understand why we are just gushing over Adrian right now. Because like the dude is. He is insane, but like I love his insanity because he makes me laugh so hard in person and in his writing. You know what I mean? It carries over brilliantly, and I think that like as he goes further, his brilliant humor is just going to bleed more and more seamlessly into his written work. Because he's a hilarious person in real life. I don't, for people that haven't met him and spoken with him or watched any of our shows, Adrian is probably one of the funniest dudes I've met in a long time.
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah. And it just shines through in his work here too. Like his personality is just plastered all over this book.
And if you're also like kind of a fan of Adrian and you like want more, like don't worry, there is stuff coming. Like he kind of put out like a press release ish type thing earlier today on Instagram where he said that like he has a grad 83 comic that's going to be developed from Scout. And also, he's got a Trakovi trade paperback that's going to drop sometime, I think, late this year or next year, he said. And it's going to be manga shaped, which he's really excited for because he kind of always liked the manga art form. He's pretty kind of hyped for his book being released in format. So,
well, he has a very love-hate relationship with manga, right? If you know Adrian's story about comics and at his first convention, so he
Oh,
has
the
a
girl with the
yeah,
yo, I
yeah,
forgot all about that
outsold
story.
his ass. So I think he's hyped to have him. He's like, maybe it'll sell more if it's manga, like the size, you know. So
Maybe he'll go back to that shop, man, and like see if
yeah,
she's drawing his artwork and selling bootlegs of
yeah,
it.
yeah. So man, if you can't beat him, join him, right?
Straight up.
Yeah, in that press release, he kind of alluded to as well, like he would be down to do a mall cop crossover, and that would be
Mm,
fantastic. That would be great, cause it's there, Trakovi and
mullet
mall
cop.
cop. I couldn't even imagine the level of degeneracy crossing
Yeah.
between those
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like, yeah, Mm. that'd be pretty fun. That'd be pretty fun. Yeah. So, congratulations to Adrian on another great release. I love the first issue. Can't wait to read issue 2 and 3 once you got it done. But yeah, man, sign up. We got the link in the descriptions and in the chats to sign up for the pre-launch. The campaign actually goes live on May 7th, so don't miss out on this book.
I got one more question for you guys.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys read the other versions of it? Because like Adrian did send us like the different edits of the book as he was editing it. Did you guys check any of that out and like get involved and kind of see how the editing process goes? Because this is my first time actually getting to see like several different versions of a comic as it was being edited, and like it's kind of neat to see what goes into that. Did any of you guys check that out as well?
Yeah, I remember the first one. Well, I remember the first one I read the first one he sent to the group chat, but I was very sick at the time. And then he sent me the most up-to-date one last night. So I read that one more recently. But I love that the process work in comic books. Like and then anytime I see a Kickstarter that has that as an option to get the process book, I always get it cuz I'm fascinated by the like that process of elimination and addition and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I read what draft was it? The second draft. So the second and third are the two drafts I read.
Okay. I mean, they're all pretty much solid and really good, but it's kind of neat to see the little changes that like they make to like make it jive a little better and stuff. And I really appreciate him letting us in on that, man. This was a really fun treat for a comic fan to kind of get to peek behind the curtain. And yeah, I'm happy it was such an amazing book that I love with all my heart. On top of that, really double payoff. So yeah, everybody, check this out, man. Like it's just a good, fun, funny book, and it's also kind of a nice, disturbing book too. I mean, I think there's going to be some drama later on, like he's setting up for. But I mean, this is just a blast from start to finish, and yeah, dude, Adriean Koleric, man, put that name in the book. Make sure you remember it because like it's going places. All right, you guys got anything else you want to shout out?
Nope, just the book. I mean, I'm looking forward to having it in print.
Is there another episode of Phono coming up?
Allegedly on Thursday.
Thursday?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
pending sinuses and coughing, you know. So we'll see.
Got you. Okay.
But I think so. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 85%.
There we go. So.
And then on Friday, we're going to have Raymond Locher on with us, right, Joseph?
Yeah, Le Locher. Yeah, Raymond. Talking about his Kickstarter. He has a Kickstarter running right now called I Hate the Morning.
Yep.
Yeah, and he also has done 2 previous Kickstarters for a book called Fallen. So issues 1 and 2. And this is a little break. He's taking a little breather before he does issue 3 of Fallen. So he wanted to try something a little different. So he went with a horror-themed book. So yeah. So we'll have him on Friday to talk about his latest Kickstarter.
But yeah, once again for everybody, like it's in the chat and it's also in the description, man. Click the link for the pre-launch page, and you know, like, don't sit on the sitter, man. Like you're gonna want this book, all right? So take it easy, y'all. See you on Friday, all right?